you into a secret. This is my first love, motorcycle racing. And for years I talked about the fabulous TT races in the Isle of Man, when this bike was the cutting edge of technology. This is a 5-cylinder 125cc Honda. It revs at 20,000 RPM. It does 140 miles an hour. Incredible. But I haven't always been a commentator.
You young men have this war to win.
With Britain at war and Murray barely out of his teens, duty called. Among those passing out from Sandhurst Military Academy in 1944 was Officer Cadet 144-06224 Graham Murray Walker.
Oh, this is fabulous.
I was in the army for 4.5 years. I won't say I enjoyed every second of it because my 21st birthday, for instance, was amid shot and shell on the Holland-Germany border.
It's about 55 years since I've been on one of these things.
Wake up! You idle man!
I trained under people like the great RSM Britain, who was very famous in the British Army, and I marched away a very proud second lieutenant.
Oi!
The lowest form of animal life
Oi.
in the British Army.
From two veterans to another veteran.
My God.
This
I'm
Challenger 2. You're all ashamed.
Waterloo.
Yes.
My regiment.
Your badges.
God, you are so kind of you. Thank you very much. Royal Scots Graves, my regiment.
Murray has been invited back to Sandhurst to watch today's parade. It brings back some poignant memories.
Everything that meant so much to me then means so much to me now is unchanged. It's tradition, it's the greatness of the British Army.
You start on a path trodden by heroes, by the fallen, and by those who have underpinned your regiment's cause and national armies through recent times, good and bad.
There we are, that's me. There we are. 144-06224.
You remember your army number?
Yeah.
They say you always remember your army number.
I was unashamedly very close to tears several times today because it is such a dramatic, unique, evocative, emotional occasion. When I look back on all those years and think that I was actually a part of it and preceded the adjutant on his grey riding up the steps, I feel immensely proud.
For more than 40 years, enthusiasts have enjoyed the thrills of motorcycle scrambling.
Of course, it wasn't always Formula One. Most of Murray's early commentaries featured two wheels.
My mother knew of him because the TT and Manx races would come on and interrupt woman's hour.
Hello, I'm Murray Walker.
In a lot of ways, it was great fun. But he did go on a bit.
The young Murray Walker adored his dad. In his day, he was one of the world's leading motorbike racers.
Murray Walker's father, Graham, cleans up winner Teddy Smith before planting a smacker.
My father was a fantastic personality.
What our beloved Brooklands looked like from 1907 to 1939.
A great man in his sporting life and his subsequent working life as a magazine editor and a broadcaster.
Well, I mentioned that first 1908 Easter Monday, Brooklands race for motorcycles.
I mean, I was born into motorsport and I was either going to love it or loathe it, and I love it.
Murray Walker's returning to an old lunchtime haunt to catch up with a few former colleagues. He went into the advertising business after the war and helped to produce some classic television commercials.
Hello,
You and I are looking more alike every day.
Murray worked in advertising for 35 years. That was the day job. Commentating came at weekends. He would meet up with his wife Elizabeth on Friday nights and travel to race meetings all over the country after a busy week at the office.
I was your cat will stay younger, live longer on Daily Kitty Cat. Trill makes budgies bounce with health.
I say, Trill makes budgies bounce with health because Trill has special sunshine grains.
And eventually we came up with this claim. An only budgie is a lonely budgie. Because in those days, old ladies used to have budgies to keep them company.
See?
He's a great guy to work with. We used to work on a sort of group system there, and he would be the account executive on these pet foods and Mars products, and I'd be the marketing executive.
I remember you at board meetings. If anyone had got a bit of good news, you were always the person that said, great. Yeah, well done. Murray, as you see him on the Grand Prix circuit, seeing is Murray as he always was. It bubbles through.
And Norman Gass was the copywriter who wrote the Mars a Day Helps You Work Less and And when we actually started it, we used to have a little boy with a boxing glove which punched the screen on the television and said,
Mars feeds you goodness.
three good ways.
Milk to build you up.
Sugar, energy to give you energy.
Chocolate to keep you going.
When we changed to this advertising, the sales shot up by about 28%. Bounty, taste of coconut. That gives you a taste of paradise.
The bounty hunters. They came in search of paradise.
I had the ring of confidence.
The ring of confidence, didn't you?
Keeping them inside this ring could mean fewer fillings.
And did it work?
It kept Colgate toothpaste with 65% of the market
Oh,
against all competition. Not too bad.
Fresh breath and a good taste. Keep your family inside Colgate's ring of confidence.
Do you remember some of the office parties at the Porchester Baths with Murray with his jacket off? You were a great dancer.
I don't remember this.
Oh, I do. I felt the competition was severe.
It's go! And Damon Hill leads into the first bend.
Murray, he hasn't changed. He's the same. He's just a lovely man.
And here comes the pasta.
It's a pizza, Murray.
Hill's going for it. And he's spun his pizza through 180 degrees. And Hill finishes second again. He's lost it. He's out of control.
Car 57 time 41.29 for 1.
Chesley Walsh, Worcestershire. Round 2 of the 2001 British Hill Climb Championship.
Oh!
This is where it all began for Murray Walker.
Now that's where I was. Yes.
Away!
Chesley Hill claims to be the oldest racetrack in the world. An appropriate place, then, for Murray to have started his broadcasting career with his very first public commentary back in 1949.
Now this is real nostalgia time for me. John, I'm all over Twitter when I see those words Vox Villa. This is literally where it all began for me. I mean, 1949, I came here as an understudy for my dad. But as far as I was concerned, there was one bloke that I was talking to, Jim Pestridge, who was the BBC producer. John, it's Murray Walker. Good afternoon, and good afternoon, everybody who is at Chesley Walsh. And I knew that when I was talking, Jim would hear what I had to say. And I'm looking down into the paddock, and honestly, it looks exactly the same to me as it did 52 years ago. And as a result of that, I got my first ever national broadcast of the BBC at Silverstone British Grand Prix 1949.
Away!
So many memories, so much to reflect on. And now he's calling it a day. Murray's